Well, some interesting events happened today. Let's just say the last couple hours have been pretty stressful for me, and I'm here to talk about it. Maybe you guys can learn something from this video. Maybe there's some things you'll learn from this video that you didn't know. Okay, remember I had the Audi Q5 customer that was motherfucking this, motherfucking that, motherfucking, swearing all the time and dropped his vehicle off. And if you guys don't know the backstory, I'll link the video to the backstory so you can understand more about what's going on. Told the customer I wasn't interested in doing the job. Told him that no matter what, he wouldn't be satisfied with the work moving forward, and we just really don't want to do business with him. So he said, okay, I'll just come pick up the vehicle. Well, we couldn't get the vehicle to him, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, because we were out of town, and we were, and he can only do stuff on the weekend. And we were out of town. We were at business management school. Last weekend was the bachelor party weekend, where we also flew out of town for the bachelor party stuff. I didn't really know that the guy could only do stuff on the weekend. Well, that's until today. Today's not a work day for us. My business partner flew out of state, and I had some stuff to do around the house. The employees wanted the day off, so the ones that normally would like to work on Saturday to make extra money, they weren't really feeling it. So great timing. Go home. That's good. I had one of my guys come by. He wouldn't do nothing. I said, hey, I'm gonna drive a customer's car home tonight. It's easier for him to pick the car up at my house than it is to come all the way to the shop. He'll finish paying his bill at home, and it'll be easier for the customer, easier for us. Kind of like delivery service, partially. So that all went down and went great. He picks me up this morning. My employee picks me up this morning. I take him out to breakfast and stuff as an appreciation. I go to try to give him gas money and stuff. He won't take the gas money because he says he just appreciates everything I do in general for me, and I didn't really need to take him to breakfast. That's fine. So we get back to the shop, get everything swapped over, and he's going to start getting changed into his mechanic, get up. And there's another guy, he shows up, and I'm like, what is this? What, you guys are working? And he was like, yeah, we're going to work a little if that's okay. And I was like, well, it's not really okay. There's no supervisor here. Just a couple employees. That's not going to work. There has to be a supervisor here, but let me call Young, my business partner. Let's talk about this, because I didn't know this was going on, really. I didn't understand the extent of what was going on today, I guess. And he says, oh yeah, I told him I trust, they want to get some stuff done on a vehicle that one of the guys wants to get some work done on a customer's car. He wants to get caught up on it. And then, because the customer needs the vehicle right away Monday, and we won't have enough time Monday morning to get the tires and stuff knocked out, so we want to get all the tires and stuff knocked out today. And the other guy wanted to do some stuff on his personal car. I was like, I don't necessarily like employees working on their personal cars with no supervisor here. That's not something that I'm okay with. But if he trusts you guys, we'll try it out and see what happens. So I leave to come home. I get about 3/4 of the way home, and I get a call. Hey boss, that guy with the Audi Q5, the guy that swears and stuff a lot, the one that's always mad, he's here right now. And he's angry. And he's swearing and mother F this and that and everything else. And he's saying all this crazy stuff. And he wants his car right now. I was like, well, he owes the money for the starter install. Just because it didn't fix the vehicle, and we told him it wasn't going to fix the vehicle. He wanted it done anyway. We did it anyway. He still owes for that. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even in a position where I can go back and bring this thing out here. I'm not even in a position where I can go back right now to be there for them, and there's nobody there, which I didn't like the fact that they were there anyway. So I get the guy on the phone. The guy's swearing and cussing at me and acting all kind of crazy, man. Just really bad. And I'm like, dude, this guy has got some major freaking problems, man. Like, he is so angry. He was angry from the get-go. Let's put it down, man. He was angry from the get-go. Get the extra stuff out of the back of the truck, because I'm going to be spraying. Like, this guy is extremely upset about everything. Like, everything that you say makes him mad. Everything, and it seems like everything in life makes him mad. Put him in the, hey, put it in the refrigerator over here. So I don't know how to even approach this guy, because he's just like so angry in general. Like, extremely angry about everything that you want to talk to him about. Sorry, I'm shampooing the seats in the Ford. I've got one of those portable vacuums, and I'm going to do the front seats completely. And I don't know how to I can't make the guy happy. I can't make the guy happy to save my life. Nothing I tell him is okay. Nothing I say he wants to hear. He's like, oh, just put some gas in it. That's why the engine's not cranking over. That is not why the engine's not cranking over. Whoever told you that? Who taught you how to work on cars, but you have to come to me to get the work done? But I can't tell you what's wrong with your car. Motherfucker, tell me what's wrong with my motherfucker. I tell you what's wrong with my motherfucking car, kind of thing. This is literally what he's saying. And I'm like, this is nuts, man. This is absolutely freaking nuts. I said, look, let me talk to my employee, man. I'm not dealing with you right now. I'm not about to talk about all this bullshit right now. You didn't even tell me you were showing up. You didn't tell me anything. You just showed up, and we're not even operating in business hours right now. And he's like, well, it looks like it's open to me. I'm like, what do you mean it looks like it's open? He said, man, it's open. It's wide the hell open. People here working, so it's open. I says, it's not open right now. You should have called me and talked to me about what was going on. I could have helped you out. He said, man, I just want my motherfucking car. They can't find the keys to my car. So I'm like, okay, let me figure out what's going on. When this Audi, he delivered the car with a bad battery. So the door's locked. From the times that they had to jump pack on the battery and open and closing the doors and everything else, the door's locked. And I'm like, what are we going to do now? The doors are locked. The key from the 4 Audi keys that we have, none of them is triggering it. The battery's dead inside the car. I don't know what the frick to do. It's getting really bad. The guy's getting even more angry. An hour goes by, an hour and a half goes by. We think about it. We brainstorm, kind of put our heads together, and like, look, climb up underneath the car and hook a jump pack up to the engine, like a main engine stud, and put power on the back of the alternator or the starter, and then hit the unlock button for the thing, open the doors that way. Oh, my guy's like, oh, yeah, that'll work. So they do that, and she's making fun of me over there for saying do that. So they do that, and the thing it unlocks. And they're like, oh, we got his key, but we don't know where he is. He walked away from the property. Well, the cops are on their way because he wants to talk to the cops because he can't have his property. So the cops get there, get me on the phone, and they're like, hey, man, you got a case here for sure. The guy owes you the money for, got it. But that's a civil court thing. Just like whatever his problem is with you, that's a civil court thing. But I'm going to document in this paperwork right now that you're not returning his car to him. And I said, well, how can you do that when he owes money for something anyway? Like her signed repair order and everything. He said, I don't care about that repair order. You have somebody's property and they want it back. When they tell you that they want their property back, they own the property. And I was like, well, wait a second. The man don't even really have paperwork and stuff on it yet. He just bought it a couple months ago. So technically, if you're looking for paperwork, the paperwork is locked up inside the vehicle. You got to get in the vehicle to prove it anyway. So I got to get in the vehicle. So I need time to find the keys for it. And the cop's like, no. Like, somebody better get here and find this guy his keys now. Because I don't want to keep dealing with his loudmouth and his arguing and yelling and stuff like that. And one of you guys should be here with your employees anyway. Why are they here by themselves? The business is open. If the doors are open and the gates are open and stuff like this, the business is open. You guys screwed the pooch on this one. You should have never let your employees come here and open everything up and then try to tell a customer the business is not open. Business is open. Don't do this again. And I was like, oh my God, man. Why did Young, my partner, I love him to death, trust them enough to come in and work on their own like this? And now this guy shows up, instead of me being able to take care of it this weekend or Monday, So I'm like, ah, here we go. I tell the guys, look, man, push the car outside. Now that you got the thing unlocked, and put it in neutral and push it outside on the pavement. They push it outside on the pavement, and then the guy shows up and grabs his car. Okay, so let's talk about some key takeaways here with this whole entire situation. First of all, let's address batteries that are bad, dead, that won't hold a charge when the vehicle is dropped off. Before anything else is done on the vehicle at all, when it comes to the shop, dead batteries, bad batteries need to be addressed first before anything, because you cannot even repair a vehicle without being able to turn the key on and off and there being power present. Bad batteries should be addressed from number one. I understand these are the things that are wrong with your car, Mr. Customer, but if I can't address the battery and turn the car on and off and stuff like that, and I'm having to rely on a jump pack to start it, and the battery won't hold the charge and stuff like that, I don't want to work on the vehicle. Either we put a battery in this thing, figure out what's going on with or we're not working on it. We didn't do that. We should have done that, because we wouldn't be in this spot right now. This guy could have came and got his car right away, even with us not there. Number two, never, ever, ever accept another shop's diagnosis. Never. Because that shop's diagnosis was indeed incorrect. Number three, never, ever, ever accept an employee or a customer's part when you're doing business. I know some of you out there like doing it, and there's too many gray areas, and no matter what, you'll never, even with a signed repair order and a release form and everything else saying the customer assumes the responsibility, you can be held accountable in court if something happens. It doesn't matter about your signed repair order. You will still be held accountable. I guarantee you that. So never accept customer supplied parts, unless it's like an old classic car or something like that. You can't get it, but they can. Never let your employees work on the weekend with the doors and stuff wide open and no supervisor there. Never. Number three, when you don't feel good about it, or number five, number four, whatever it is. I'm all stressed out because of this right now. When you don't feel comfortable with a customer and they make you feel bad about the job, don't take the job. Send them on their way. Had I followed these basic principles, tagging the key properly, not just the number, but having like Mr. Peterson, Mr. This, Miss Smith, Miss Johnson, Mr. Clark, or whatever on the tag, having the actual name with the number there, it would have told me that that was his, instead of having to guess because of the numbers that are tagged to them. Having proper documentation on the key instead of just a number would have helped 1,000 times better in this situation. Yeah, so today was kind of a crazy day. A real crazy day. And I wanted to share this with you guys so some of you shop owners out there can learn from this too. I have learned so much in the last couple months of dealing with crazy ass customers that I've had to fire, that I never want to see or work with again, but they've taught me a lot, and I mean a lot, in the process. So from here on out, moving forward, there will be a lot of things changing on what comes through my shop and doesn't come through my shop, in essence of what I dealt with today. And the rules that will apply from now on, oh yeah, no more employees working on the weekend without a supervisor present. And there will be no doors open at all while they're there. Unless it's like a side door or something like that customers can't see. Y'all be blessed. Take care. I hope you've learned something from this. I know I sure as hell have. I didn't know that if a customer owes you money, a repair order is not sufficient enough to stop them from grabbing their vehicle, because it is their property. They own it. Your fight is in civil court with them to get your money. They still own the property. They have every right to it. And I didn't know that. A repair order can't save you. That's crazy. Be blessed.